Why does God do bad things to good people? The best people don't deserve to be having bad things happening to them. I know the answer, that God does bad things to people so that they should find Him. I mean, like, that was just to get your attention? But that just doesn't make sense. No kidding. Can't you find some other way to get their attention other than doing bad to people? See, if you were God, you would do a much better job. I know a lot of people are bothered when bad things happen to good people. But it bothers me much, much more when good things happen to bad people. Like, for that, there's no excuse. Why do good things happen to bad people? Doesn't even teach them a lesson. They just get worse.
What? Hitler or Molly? No.
Bad things are not necessarily things that hurt. Because sometimes things that hurt are not bad. Like an operation. Or childbirth. Or criticism. It hurts. It's not bad. Bad isn't necessarily death. Death isn't bad. Is it?
The people around them.
So life is bad. Living without you would be very bad. I'm sure that's true. What do we mean when we say bad? What we really mean, if you stop and think about it, bad means that shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. That's called bad. If a person dies a normal, long life, or peacefully, surrounded by the family, it's not bad. It's sad. It's not bad.
Well, let's say like a young person passes away.
Right. When a young person passes away, we get very upset because, oh, that shouldn't happen. Hasn't lived his life yet.
Do you think that God's punishing that person and people around him? Because people around him have more pain than the person that passed away.
There's no punishing. Stop with the punishing. So what does bad mean? Somebody who shouldn't have died, who died. An operation is not bad, no matter how much it hurts. Unless it wasn't supposed to be performed on you. It was on the other bed. That's bad. Labor pains are not bad, as much as they hurt. But false labor pains, who needs that? That shouldn't happen, right? So listen, did a bad thing ever happen in this world?
No. Yes.
No. Yes.
No.
It wasn't a situation. To us, it seems bad.
Right. What does Hashgacha Pratis mean? Hashgacha Pratis means nothing can happen unless the Eibishter makes it happen. That's really what Hashgacha Pratis means. It's not that the Eibishter watches to see what happens. He makes it happen. Because if he didn't make it happen, It can't happen. So if everything that has ever happened in this world happened, it's because it was supposed to. If it wasn't supposed to, then who did it? The Satan? The devil? Who did? Nothing bad ever happened in this world because it can't. Did painful things happen? Oh yeah. Did tragedies happen? Yes. They were not supposed to happen? What is this? The world's out of control? Can't be. So why does the word bad exist at all?
It's what we think. It's an illusion.
There is one thing that happens and it shouldn't happen. Your bechira. Your freedom of choice means you can choose what you should not choose.
But it's still,
Huh?
in a way that it is supposed to happen. Because God does, like...
No, you're supposed to have bechira, but you weren't supposed to use it to choose that.
But you kind of play into the plan when you choose. Like when you choose what you want to do, you kind of play into God.
Yeah, yeah. So even bad has some place in God's plan.
So the bechira is bad, or your choice is bad?
If you choose the wrong thing, that choice should not have happened.
You just said the definition of bad is not that things should not have happened. Like, let's say somebody, God forbid, passes away. It should not have happened, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
No, the opposite. We don't know that it shouldn't happen, so you can't call it bad. Like, something bad happens to you, and 2 days later you realize, oh, it wasn't bad, it was good. Why? Because it was supposed to happen. So, in God's world, because God runs the world, nothing bad can happen, because if He's not doing it, then it can't be. Because there's only one God. So what does bad mean? Bad means you're bad. Only a human being can be bad, because he can choose what he should not have chosen. Yeah.
But like throughout like the centuries, whenever there's been tons of things that were horrible things that happened. I don't think, like, for example, the Holocaust, like, how do you say that that's not a bad thing? And that's just
What's bad about it?
People died. It was painful. It was painful. People died.
It was painful. It was tragic. It was embarrassing, degrading.
Death. So you're saying that the Holocaust?
Is that the same as bad?
Yeah, it's tragedy.
Bad. I mean, the shit people.
Bad means everything.
No, bad is not the definition. Don't you hear all the stories about the Holocaust that people changed from it? There's so many stories.
That doesn't do anything.
You know the famous story about the little boy who passed away? You know? And the Baal Shem Tov explained that in his past life, right? So the couple came to the Baal Shem Tov and said, our 2-year-old or 4-year-old child died. What did we do wrong? The Baal Shem Tov said, why do you think you did something wrong? He said, because the child died. The child was supposed to die. It only needed 2 years of life. Why do you think things are going wrong when they're in fact perfectly right?
Why does it have to be painful?
Yeah.
That's a good question. And for that we should complain. And that's why when we say, like Moshe Rabbeinu said, Lama hara'isa lama zeh. We complain even if we know that it's right. But does it have to be painful? That's a Jewish heart. A person said, you hear a woman screaming. Say, oh, what's the matter? Ah, she's in labor. Oh, okay. Okay. Why? Because it's supposed to happen? But do you know how painful it is? That you don't care about as long as it's okay? And therefore, when bad things happen to bad people, doesn't bother you?
No, because they deserved it.
They deserved it, and everything is happening as it should. So you don't care that he's in pain?
No, because like murderers or serial killers, whatever, and they're put on death row. It's a good thing. Like
But God made it that he killed people.
And that he should
But regardless of whether it was meant to happen,
Let me ask you a question. If a Jew did something that he is chayiv misa, and they're taking him to his punishment, should you have Avas Yisrael for that person?
yeah.
How?
By not looking at him like, well, don't embarrass him. Don't embarrass him by looking at him while he's having his punishment.
Don't add to his pain. So his pain bothers you. You know it has to happen. Like when you spank, when you were spanked. Did your father not care that you were crying? Good for you. I'll give you something to cry about. Even when you spank your child, you should feel terrible. You should feel terrible that there isn't a better way. Even though this is the right way. But can't God come up with a painless? I mean, come on, we can have seedless watermelon. Can't we have painless punishment? I mean, it sounds funny, but so does a seedless watermelon.